So when I'm looking at an urban setting or any built environment, I see water. To be able to step into a landscape and to see what's working, what's not working, and how I can work with what's working to up the potential. I'm Brad Lancaster, author of Rainwater Harvesting for Drylands and Beyond, living here in Tucson, Arizona. In the early 1900s, the Santa Cruz River ran near year-round. The water table was just 20 feet below the surface. We had this rich sponge-like layer of organic matter below that absorbed the bulk of the rain that fell from the sky. But then we started changing the infrastructure. We started draining the rain. We started cutting out a lot of that vegetation. We started replacing it with hardscape. So we turned the sponge into a drain. We got mechanical pumps that rapidly started to drain the groundwater table. So to address the problem, we built the CAP Canal, Central Arizona Project Canal, an open canal that comes from the Colorado River to Phoenix and Tucson, a distance of over 300 miles, and an elevation rise of over 1,000 feet. It costs $4 billion to construct, costs over $80 million a year to operate. The highest consumer of electricity in the state of Arizona is the CAP Canal. The highest producer of carbon emissions in the state of Arizona is the CAP Canal. So this is some of the most expensive, high-energy, high-carbon water. Unfortunately, like many communities, we are depleting our local resources. And here, our primary resource is water. So one of the ways that happens is our excessive paving of our community. Now, when the rain picks up, water will flow along the curb into storm drains and out of the system. So here we've got all the roofs drain right to the landscape, which is sloped to the storm drain and the street. And then in this concrete drainage, this rifle barrel, the water just shoots right out of the system. This is the heart of this tract home development. Since all the water flows into this, instead of just the overflow, they have to fence it off to ensure nobody drowns in the water. Our water is being depleted, our groundwater is being depleted, but yet every time it rains, there is no shortage of water. The streets literally run like rivers in a big rain. I'd say the state of water and water policy in the world is bleak right now. But I also see there's a lot of bright spots of hope that are appearing more and more all over the place. Here in Tucson, 1 mile of neighborhood street drains over 1 million gallons of water per mile per year. That's just the rain hitting the street. More rain falls on the surface area of Tucson in a typical year than the entire community consumes of municipal water in a typical year. So it's very easy then to shift to a new paradigm where we shift away from the model where imported water, municipal water, is the only water source for the landscape, to one where on-site water, free water, rainwater is the primary water source. So this is our sponge. This is what rapidly absorbs the water. By turning these wastes, this biomass, into mulch, we're able to greatly enhance the ability of the plants, through their cooperation with mycelium, of uptaking moisture that we passively, freely harvest in these basins. When I walk through the urban setting or this neighborhood, I don't see just dirt, okay? I see a living soil. I see a living ecology. I see a great team that I can work with. I want to live in an environment that is a producer of resources, not a consumer of resources. So everything, as we're walking along here, has edible and medicinal properties. We've got a tuberosa that attracts hummingbirds, but it also has cucumber-flavored flowers. We have the barrel cactus. So I can eat the flower buds, pickle them, but I can also eat the fruit. This is the soda pop bush. This is the tuberosa, the white thorn acacia. And then below that, we've got another wolfberry, the prickly pear, the saguaro. We actually have enough water for a European olive tree. Because when we moved here, and this was a sterile strip of dirt, the only wildlife we had was exotic pigeons. But now that we've planted many indigenous plants, over 24 native bird species have returned. So we are on a daily basis reconnected to a sense of place rooted to our Sonoran Desert ecosystem. So when we started doing this work, I realized that we had planted so densely that if I really wanted things to grow to the mature size I wanted, we didn't have enough water. So on a Sunday morning, no one was watching, we cut the curb. So this is one of the ways that we can capture the street runoff. As it comes along the curb, we can direct it into a street side basin. So that runoff becomes run on, or maybe better said, soak in. Now we've shifted it and we've cut the curbs to allow the street runoff to go to street side basins. And then those trees not only shade but grow food, provide wildlife habitat. The key is to show those relationships. So people see, oh, I get it. The street drains its water to the tree, which shades the street. How can I do that? So I called the city and I said, look, a lot of my neighbors want to cut the curb to harvest the street runoff. Can we get a permit for this? Nobody can refute real life experience. Now it's all legal. And now the city promotes it. So when working with a city, county, or any other public policy agency, the key is to come at the issue not with your agenda, but with their agenda. You have to quickly figure out what are their needs, what do they want, and then can you work things so you meet their needs and yours. We need to take action that improves life, not just for us right now, but improves life for our neighbors, the soil, our waters, our air. And if we can enhance those things, we'll enhance it for everyone, ourselves included, now and for multiple generations. And it's a high aim, and you don't necessarily know how to do it. But if we don't have that aim, we're never going to get close.